Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time and welcome to my channel. You've heard me mention President Biden's Milwaukee trip today. The president's going to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It got me thinking, why is the president making his first official visit to a different part of the country since becoming president, stepping outside DC? I mean, why is it Wisconsin? What's so special about Wisconsin? And I started doing some research, and it's very clear that this is part of a broader strategy from President Biden to try and gather bipartisan support for the $1.9 trillion stimulus package and even try and bring the country together. In this video, I'll analyze the first official travel from the President of the United States and how it ties to the future of our country and what it means for the rest of the Biden administration and what it means for the tone that President Biden is trying to set for the rest of his administration and the rest of his term in office. I actually wanted to hear what the White House would officially say about it, and what's interesting is that the White House press secretary Jen Psaki was specifically asked, why is the president specifically going to Wisconsin? What's in Wisconsin, and what is essentially going on here? And I thought Psaki's response was super interesting. She said the president is focused on engaging with everyone, and engaging with both sides, and engaging with all Republicans and Democrats. And he said a vast majority of the American people like what they see with the American Rescue Plan. So it's very clear that this is part of the push, the public push, if you will, to push for stimulus, because the stimulus is indeed very popular amongst a majority of the public. Let's roll the tape and hear what Jen Psaki said today in the White House briefing room about the president's trip to Milwaukee, Wisconsin today. Let's roll the tape and hear what Jen Psaki had to say.
The president is changing gears this week, obviously looking beyond the Hill to get out and sell this plan to the American people. Is this a sign that he recognizes that he's not likely to get Republicans in Washington on board?
He certainly wouldn't agree with that. I would say that the president's view of the package, one, I would say first, the president has not shifting gears. He has been focused every single day, even as others have not, which is understandable, on engaging with partners, stakeholders, people who agree with him, people who don't agree with him, on getting this package through. This is an opportunity, as you noted, to go out and have a conversation with the people of Wisconsin, people who agree with him, people who disagree with him. But if you look at the polls, they are very consistent. The vast majority of the American people like what they see in this package. And that should be an indication, or should be noted by members of Congress as they consider whether they're going to vote for it or not.
So is he hoping then that these visits will help build pressure on members of Congress?
No, his objective is really to make sure he is engaging directly with the people who are impacted by the pandemic, who are impacted by the economic downturn, who are worried about whether they're going to get a shot, who don't know where to get information, who are worried about whether they're going to be able to put food on the table. That's the focus of this trip. Obviously, Republicans in Congress will have to make their own choice about whether they support the final package. It's still working its way through Congress, but the vast majority of the public supports it, including the vast majority of most members' constituents, so it's really a question for them.
That was interesting. In fact, as I did some more digging around, I came across this article from CNN, and I went through the article. I'll show you the headline of the article on your screen. Joe Biden returns to Wisconsin, testing a new president's promise to unify and govern. As always, we'll provide you with a link to all of our resources in the description section below, so you can check it out. Now, this is the important part of the article, and I'm quoting the article, and again, you can check out the article. CNN reports Milwaukee and its traditionally conservative suburbs, where Biden made significant gains last fall. By the way, this was part of the reason why President Biden won the state of Wisconsin, okay? This is important. This is part of the Democrats' agenda to try and flip more states blue. Okay, so this is important. Milwaukee and its traditionally conservative suburbs, where Biden made significant gains last fall, offer a critical test for the degree to which a new president may still be able to win over detractors and keep supporters above all, while trying to govern in the aftermath of a brutally turbulent period in American political history. What I would add to that is the most horrific economic crisis we've seen in 100 years, on top of a planned insurrection, on top of the second impeachment trial of the same president. So out of the 4 impeachment trials we've had in the history of our country to essentially have been impeachment trials of former President Donald Trump. So I would say that not only has this been the most turbulent period in American political history, I would say financial history, economic history, and history in general is going to be rewritten when we look back at 2020 and the start of 2021. And folks, shifting gears back to the American Rescue Plan, I've talked to you about Joe Manchin. There he is, a conservative Democrat from West Virginia, and Senator Kristen Sinema from Arizona. Both of them have expressed opposition to the $15 an hour minimum wage. And I mentioned this before on my channel. I do believe that despite the massive support for the $15 an hour minimum wage from Bernie Sanders, what's up, Bernie? And from Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, there she is, hello, Congresswoman, and from Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, I do believe this is one hill that I don't think the Democrats will die on. I do believe that this will end up on the chopping block, primarily because Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema don't support the $15 an hour minimum wage. So what's interesting is that the White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki was asked about this specifically today, and she was quite ambiguous, quite cryptic in her response. She said, "We will let the process play out in the House and the Senate, because I believe that the Democrats know that this is unlikely to happen, and if it does happen, there's going to have to be some maneuvering and some give and take. There's going to have to be some deal making, which, to be completely honest, we are running out of time for more and more deal making, because keep in mind, and you've heard me talk about this on my channel before, so right now we have the package that is being drafted into a bill. Now that bill has to pass both the House and the Senate. If the Senate makes any changes, it'll go back to the House, and then the House will have to pass the same version of the bill. So there are a lot of balls up in the air right now, and there are many variables involved. But again, I thought that Jen Psaki's response was very interesting in the sense it was ambiguous and cryptic, because I think the White House knows that they are about to lose this battle in an effort to win the bigger war. Let's roll the tape and hear from Jen Psaki, the White House Press Secretary, today.
A couple of quick questions. Both Senators Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema have both expressed some opposition to increasing the minimum wage as it's laid out currently in the proposal in the Senate. And I wondered, is President Biden open to, lengthening the period of time over which the minimum wage could be increased? So, for example, getting it to $15 by 2030. Is he open to potentially extending the timeline there to get more people on board?
Well, we'll let the process play out through the Senate, through the House first, and through the Senate as they're negotiating what the final components will look like in a package. The president put an increase in the minimum wage in the initial package because he thinks it's important for American men and women who are have a full-time job, working hard, to have a decent wage, and he thinks it's a long past time to raise the minimum wage. But we'll let the process see itself through, and I'm not going to negotiate what he'd be open to and not from the podium.
That was it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new. I would really appreciate it if you click the like button, if you click subscribe, if you enable notifications. That really helps out the YouTube algorithm. That would mean a lot to me personally. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.